Imagine standing in the ruins of ancient Rome, where 2,000 years ago, a philosopher-emperor named Marcus Aurelius penned thoughts that would revolutionize how we approach life's greatest challenges. Picture the bustling marketplaces of Athens, where merchants and traders first learned the principles that could transform not just their businesses, but their entire approach to success and failure. This is where our journey begins today, at the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern entrepreneurship. Welcome to a exploration of Stoicism for entrepreneurs, the timeless philosophy that's becoming the secret weapon of today's most successful business leaders. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the constant pressure of decision-making, if you've struggled to maintain clarity when everything around you seems chaotic, or if you've wondered how to build unshakable confidence in an unpredictable market, then you're about to discover something truly transformative. Stoicism isn't just another business philosophy or productivity hack. It's a comprehensive system for developing mental resilience, emotional intelligence, and strategic thinking that has been tested by emperors, generals, and yes, entrepreneurs for over 2 millennia. The principles we'll explore today have guided leaders through wars, economic collapses, and personal crises, emerging stronger and wiser each time. But here's what makes this particularly relevant for today's entrepreneurs. We're living in an age of unprecedented uncertainty. Market volatility, technological disruption, global competition, and constant change have become the norm rather than the exception. Traditional business education teaches us to create 5-year plans and predict outcomes, but Stoicism teaches us something far more valuable: how to thrive regardless of what external circumstances throw our way. Consider this sobering statistic. Studies show that over 90% of startups fail, and even established businesses face an average of 3 major crises per decade. The difference between those who survive and those who don't isn't usually about having better products or more funding. It's about having the mental framework to navigate uncertainty with clarity and confidence. The ancient Stoics understood something profound about human psychology and performance under pressure. They recognized that our suffering doesn't come from external events themselves, but from our judgments and reactions to those events. This insight, when properly applied to business, becomes a superpower. It allows entrepreneurs to see opportunities where others see only obstacles, to make rational decisions when emotions are running high, and to maintain long-term vision when short-term setbacks threaten to derail everything they've built. Throughout this exploration, we'll dive deep into the core Stoic practices that can transform your entrepreneurial journey. We'll discover how to develop what the Stoics called the discipline of desire, the ability to want what happens rather than demanding that what we want must happen. We'll explore the discipline of action, how to focus entirely on what's within our control while releasing attachment to outcomes we cannot influence. And we'll master the discipline of assent, the critical skill of examining our thoughts and beliefs to ensure they serve our highest goals rather than sabotage our success. These aren't abstract philosophical concepts. They're practical tools that you can implement immediately in your business life. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, managing a growing company, a startup founder, navigating the early stages of building something from nothing, or a business professional looking to develop greater leadership presence and decision-making capability, the wisdom we'll uncover together has the power to fundamentally shift how you approach every challenge and opportunity that comes your way. The journey ahead will challenge some of your assumptions about success, failure, and what it truly means to build something meaningful in this world. But I promise you this: by the end of our time together, you'll have access to a mental toolkit that has been refined and perfected across centuries, tested in the crucible of real-world leadership, and proven to create not just business success, but a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in everything you do. So let's begin this transformative exploration of Stoic wisdom for the modern entrepreneur and discover how ancient philosophy can become your greatest competitive advantage in today's complex business landscape. Now, before we dive into the profound solutions that Stoicism offers, we need to honestly examine the unique psychological battlefield that every entrepreneur faces daily. Because here's the uncomfortable truth that most business gurus won't tell you. Traditional success strategies are designed for a world that no longer exists. Picture this scenario, and I guarantee you've lived some version of it. It's Tuesday morning, you've just opened your laptop with your carefully planned agenda for the day, and within the first 30 minutes, everything falls apart. A major client threatens to cancel their contract. Your key developer announces they're leaving for a competitor. Your marketing campaign that you invested months of planning and significant budget into is producing dismal results, and your business partner wants to have an urgent conversation about the company's direction. Meanwhile, your phone is buzzing with notifications about market volatility that's affecting your industry, and you have three important investor calls scheduled for this afternoon. In this moment, what does traditional business advice tell you to do? Stay positive. Focus on solutions. Think outside the box. Pivot quickly. But here's the problem with these well-meaning platitudes. They completely ignore the fundamental reality of how human psychology actually works under extreme pressure. When our nervous system is flooded with stress hormones, when our fight or flight response is activated, when we're operating from a place of fear and reactivity, our capacity for creative thinking, strategic planning, and rational decision-making becomes severely compromised. Neuroscience research confirms what the ancient Stoics intuited thousands of years ago. Our emotional state directly determines the quality of our thinking. When we're anxious about outcomes we can't control, when we're angry about circumstances that didn't meet our expectations, when we're overwhelmed by the sheer volume of decisions we need to make, we literally cannot access our highest cognitive abilities. We become reactive rather than responsive, tactical rather than strategic, and we make decisions based on immediate emotional relief rather than long-term wisdom. This is why so many intelligent, capable, hardworking entrepreneurs find themselves trapped in cycles of stress, burnout, and suboptimal decision-making despite having access to more business education, tools, and resources than any generation in history. They're trying to solve a psychological problem with purely tactical solutions. They're attempting to build sustainable success on a foundation of internal chaos and emotional reactivity. Consider the typical entrepreneurial day. You're constantly switching between roles: visionary leader, detail-oriented manager, sales professional, customer service representative, financial analyst, and strategic planner. Each role requires different mental states and cognitive approaches. Traditional time management and productivity systems focus on external organization, but they don't address the internal stability required to maintain peak performance across such diverse demands. The ancient Stoics, particularly those who were involved in leadership and commerce, understood this challenge intimately. Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, was also one of the wealthiest and most successful businessmen of his era. He managed vast commercial enterprises, advised emperors on economic policy, and navigated the treacherous political landscape of ancient Rome. His insights about maintaining inner equilibrium while managing external complexity weren't theoretical. They were born from real-world experience in high-stakes environments. What Seneca and his fellow Stoics discovered was revolutionary. Sustainable success in any endeavor requires developing what we might call emotional sovereignty. The ability to choose your internal state regardless of external circumstances. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending that challenges don't affect you. Instead, it means developing the psychological tools to process difficulty skillfully, to extract wisdom from setbacks, and to maintain clarity and confidence even when everything around you feels uncertain. This is where Stoicism diverges dramatically from both toxic positivity and defeatist pessimism. It offers a third path, a realistic optimism grounded in personal agency and practical wisdom. The Stoic entrepreneur doesn't waste energy trying to control market conditions, customer behavior, or competitive dynamics. Instead, they focus intensively on mastering their own responses, decisions, and actions within whatever circumstances arise. Think about the most successful entrepreneurs you admire, the ones who seem to maintain composure under pressure, who make consistently good decisions even in chaotic environments, who bounce back from failures faster and stronger than their competitors. What you're observing isn't superhuman ability or lucky genetics. You're witnessing the practical application of principles that the Stoics systematized centuries ago. The cultivation of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance as the foundation for all effective action. In our next exploration, we'll begin unpacking these principles specifically for the entrepreneurial context, starting with the most fundamental Stoic insight of all, the dichotomy of control, and how mastering this single concept can transform every aspect of your business life.